Many a times, people have wondered, including Marxists, have wondered, Indian party Marxists have wondered why Marxism has not, especially in a country like India where the Gini coefficient is so bad, why Marxism hasn't taken roots. The answer to it is obvious, but the problem is Indian party Marxists do not want to face the answer. So I have seen in many discussions that when anybody raises questions of caste, gender, religion, or any other identity within discourses on inequality, Indian party Marxists, and I'm very clear about what when I say Indian party Marxists, I'm talking about people who claim Marxist ideology and are part of political parties claiming Marxist ideology, it's like CPIM, CPI, or the Maoist Communist Center, or the Naxals, the entire bandwidth of Marxists. They would shut up people who raise other questions of identity like caste, gender, sexuality, religion, saying that these are petty identity questions which should not come into the larger scheme of things. Now, when they talk about, they would accuse people who raise these very crucial issues, which are very connected with poverty in India, as being playing petty identity politics. The first thing and the most obvious thing that they are refusing to acknowledge is that class itself is an identity. Now, of course, class is an identity based purely on economics, but the point is that other identities are intertwined with class, particularly in a country like India, where caste and class are very strongly intertwined. The Indian party Marxists, when they are talking about other people playing identity politics, do not realize or acknowledge that their platform itself is an identity platform. The only thing is that the identity is class, and the identity is based on economics alone. Unfortunately, it is not as simple as that, and that is precisely what the Indian party Marxists refuse to see, and that is precisely why they are not able to expand their base. I'll have to start with Karl Marx himself. Karl Marx lived in Europe, and Karl Marx's writings, all his writings, are based on his experience. Karl Marx, let us first not get into the trap of making Karl Marx into a god. Karl Marx was a human being whose writings reflected his personality, his location, where he was born. So Karl Marx's experience was essentially the European post-industrialized European experience, and that is from where he wrote, and obviously that is why he was not addressing questions like caste. So to claim that claim any kind of purity in Marxist position is like claiming those people in other religions, Christianity or Judaism or Islam or any other religion, claiming that they should lead the lives of the prophets. I mean, it's as silly as that. Okay, and what happens with the new left in India, and that's very, very fascinating, is that they go on dissociating themselves from questions of caste. Not only that, they go on dissociating themselves from questions of caste and the intervention between class and caste as the schematic interweaving between caste and class as an essential feature of poverty and disenfranchisement in India. They also refuse to sort of engage with the developments in Marxism, which has happened universally. For instance, of course, they would say, most Marxist ideologues and theorists would swear by Orientalism, Edward Said and Orientalism, for instance. But the point is that they would not admit to a similar hegemonic knowledge production that exists in India in terms of Brahmanism. And this is essentially the failing of Indian party Marxists. So every time one tries to engage with the Indian party Marxists, and every time that they shut people who engage with them using the argument that they are engaging in petty identity politics. What is happening is the Indian party Marxists are cloistering themselves and behaving like ostriches, saying, yes, we know that there is a reality in the world, but we refuse to see the rest of the world, and burying their head in the sand. So the only way that Indian party Marxism can have a future beyond Kerala or beyond these pockets where they win seats is if they start engaging, and if forget engage, if they start acknowledging that to understand class in India, one has to understand caste, and for that one has to understand the workings of caste, and not only that, one has to ensure that leadership should be given to people from these castes. Let me expound on it a little more. You cannot have a trade union of, let's say, steel workers, which comprises of intellectuals. The trade union has to have steel workers. On the leadership, there might be one or two people from outside, but the trade union has to be run, organized, and what happens and what their demands are, what their failings, shortcomings, what their work hours are, only the steel workers know. So unless steel workers run the show, that union would be a failure. It's the same thing. Unless politics, Marxist politics in this country engages with caste, unless the vanguard of change are people who, let's say for instance, sanitation workers or cobblers, what their standard of life is, how they are badly treated, and what their disenfranchisement and alienation is for them to know, not for people with privilege who go there and do, within quotes, anthropological study on them and try to understand them as the other. This politics has to be intervened with evolution of a discourse and a pedagogy which essentially takes into account these factors. Unless then and until then, Indian party Marxism would continue to be alienated from realities that define the larger Indian politics. Thank you very much.